Nick, on multiple occasions over the last year, and really since the town halls following the contract extension, you've mentioned leveraging contract articles in negotiations. I know you did in the extension town hall. I think I've heard it in a couple webinars as well. There's been a couple times recently, though, specifically talking about Sean Duffy, where he's kind of thrown the contract extension back at us, right? Saying, well, like in the Duluth visit, for example, or in the press conference you guys had when you announced the bonuses for like the 20% and then for the academy graduates. Personally, I don't feel like the contract gives us as much leverage as the importance of our work and of the like the multi-billion-dollar impact that our job has on both the U.S. and the world economy. So do you still feel like the leverage of the 77 articles is more important, or do you feel like, hey, these guys do important work, why don't they get fairly compensated for the work that they do? And that's specifically talking about pay.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan. I think there is what we would convince ourselves of in that argument of the impact that we have on the economy. And if we didn't have those 77 contract articles, it would be a completely different narrative, because that's all we would lean on. That's what we would have. But also, that would mean people were throwing money at us along the way as it's gone on, because it's not unknown to the industry, to government, to all the different aviation groups, the impact that we have, especially during a low staffing situation with equipment that quite often fails us, is they would be saying, hey, we need to give you money in order to do that. That's not a reality. And it's been a 12.2% reduction in pay that's been proposed through your retirements and otherwise. So I think the reality of what we have to face inside of that is the 77 contract articles. I would rather have those in hand to determine what we're going to do with them, rather than just being taken away from us. Being your basic watch schedule, your annual leave, your sick leave, your 2 hours time on position, the inset process that is being talked about, the ability to move facilities, the abacus that's going to compensate facilities and ensure that we have a chance to negotiate that. Like, all those things would be we wouldn't be talking about them, because the agency would just get them back at no cost to them, as well as the OJTI premium going back to what it was, or if we had a contract at all, in those aspects of it. So realizing many of those things that I just spoke about have a value to them. Now we get to determine, is there an opportunity? And take CIP, for example. That's the one that myself and the National Executive Board talked about the other day. We know for the first time ever, we ran out of CIP 5 pay periods early. Is there a way to, of course, it would just say, okay, give us more. But the reality is 30 million is what was agreed to. So how do we either say we want to change CIP anyways, and can we leverage that for something else? Or is it, we'll take our shot at just, I don't know, will you give us more, and an up, down, yes or no? These are about, in a strategy of creating opportunities, but at least we own those, let's put per contract article $1 on it, $77. If I have $0 to negotiate with, well, that makes it very easy for the agency. If I have $77 to negotiate with, I could say I'm willing to let go $30, because I think the upside is over here in a negotiation. And that is the way that I view it, as in being in dealing with negotiations on for many years, and not letting 35 years of work and gains to get to the work rules and points that we have, to wash them all, go away with us not taking a shot that wasn't going to start till July of 2026 anyways at negotiating. Is what can we do now, baseline, and protect our rights, where there's been this much happening with federal workers and federal unions, and using that as a platform to build from, instead of give away for free. Or do we want to give it away? Is up to us. And can we leverage that for something of pay, compensation, and benefits later on? So I think the strategy remains. We're a year into the Trump presidency. He's got 3 years to go, and working with the administration and staying on a world where seeing what we can accomplish. And if we can't accomplish anything, then what are we willing to do? But at least it'll be on our terms.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I still feel like, again, in terms of leverage, you've got Sean Duffy going on TV saying we want the best and the brightest. You've got Donald Trump saying these people die early because of this profession. You have to be geniuses. I just feel like in terms of leverage, what better leverage is there than that when the person you're negotiating against, and I know they're not in the FAA, but they're in his administration, right? Is like, okay, you got these people telling me that you're basically saying, hey, you're really valuable. And again, you have a multi-billion-dollar impact on the economy. Just seems like we should be able to use those words, not to mention, again, the impact we have on the U.S. and world economy to get advanced pay. But
I don't think
I don't
that any of us, and you bring up a point that I missed there on talking about it. I do think there is confusion by the secretary, and we've talked about it and actually have meetings coming up with him, is, when he was speaking at Duluth, he wasn't speaking to a contract extension. He was speaking that he thought we negotiated a contract, which was the Indigo book that covered staff specialists and the other aviation safety professionals, not air traffic controllers. So it gives us a chance to talk about, no, that's not us. And if this administration, the executive orders for those who are out there, they are in place. The expectation was, once we saw that it was going to be this administration, that there would be the executive orders in place that if we were to negotiate, immediately we lose the 77 contract articles that Dylan referenced early on. That's reality. It's gone. It's over. We don't get that back. If this administration wants to carve us out from that and wants to say, Dylan, that we're the best and brightest and we die early, which they have, then we can work and say, and carve us out of that and give us the right to fairly and completely negotiate. Now, those two worlds have to either determine to coexist, or one was words and then there was no action to follow. And that's what we have to, weigh as a union. We have to continue to pursue and determine, once again, is it give it all away in the hopes of negotiating, which means it can go up, down, or stay the same. But Donald Trump and Secretary Duffy, while they may weigh in, they do not show up at the negotiating table. In 2016, they offered their starting position was the White Book and pay cuts. That was under a labor, quote unquote, labor-friendly administration. So, and that is what we have to weigh. And there's 13,000 families that are at risk for all that, of not having schedules, split shifts, split RDOs, and everything else. Let's take our chance and continue to bet on finding the way and the path forward, or I wouldn't say bet, creating the opportunities that we can to put the very money in our people's pocket. Where the agency and the administration want to move at light speed, it's going to need, we need to be seen as the solution and our expertise and help, and create the opportunities to compensate the air traffic controllers for the very thing that we were both talking about. So everyone, as we talk about pay, our goals are aligned. It's just, what are the realities we face and what are the strategies to get there? Because I promise you, if they wanted to give it to us, they could and have the opportunity, and I'm willing to accept. On behalf of all of us, give us all the monies you want because of our great work that we do.
Okay, I hear you. And thanks for taking the time.